This tutorial is going to show you how students will complete their Certiport profile after their accounts have been created. So if a person has imported in all your students into Certiport and created the kids a username and a password, they still have to complete everything like their address and things like that. So once students have that username and password, go to certiport.com, click login. They can log in with that new username, and this is a practice username I have here. I'm going to log in, and the first time the kids log in, they're going to go through the profile setup. It's going to prompt them to answer these questions. So most of the time, let's say if you're enrolled as a full-time student, part-time student, yes. They can just put what grade they're in. If they're junior, they can put 11th. Are you affiliated with any student organizations? Yes or no. If they click yes, they can choose from FBLA, DECA, and so on. Or just choose no if they're not affiliated. Do they have a job? In this case, I'll put yes. And it asks if they work at an academic institution. Again, if they choose no, they don't get any of these choices. So I can just click no here. And we'll just finish filling out this profile. Are you a teacher? No. So I'm going to scroll down, and it says male or female, so they choose their gender. And then they're going to click submit. So that's going to finish step one here. Make sure I didn't make any mistakes. Oops. Current job function. And just put other. Now let's hit submit. So it says for improved username and password, security questions. Again, all the kids are going to be prompted for this the first time they log in. They're going to click update. It's going to come to this screen here, and they really can't change anything at this point except for the two questions. So what they need to do is go ahead and hit edit. So I'm going to click edit. Oops, excuse me. Actually, they have to answer their two questions here. Hold on. Once they get here, they're going to need to answer the security questions. We're going to input those in. So what city were you born? I'm going to choose that one here. And another security question. Let's see. We're going to put mother's name. And we're going to put Julie. I can choose, well, I can't choose my birthday yet. You can see everything else is kind of grayed out. You have to fill in the security questions before you can actually edit everything. So let me scroll down and put in my two security questions. And then I'm going to click edit. I've got to answer those first two questions, and then it's going to allow me to edit. So now all my boxes come open here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose let's see, October 1, 2013. For my email address, just make up an email address. Now, I would make sure that the students use their school email address in case they forget their password or their username. That way, they can retrieve that email the next time they test. So it's real important that they use their school email address. Now the address here is going to be the school's email address. The kids can leave that the same if they want to. They can change this. It's really their preference, whatever they want to do. And there is the alternate address where they could keep the school's address here, personal address here. Whatever they decide to do, that's perfect. They can leave it just the school address if they want to. I'm going to hit submit. And you're going to see everything's been filled in here. And then I'm going to hit finish. I could have hit edit again if I needed to go back and change something. Now you're going to see this, that it goes back to my profile, but there's a couple steps we need to finish. I'm going to go to profile. And it brings me right back to my questions. So if a kid gets lost and hits some other button, Just go to Profile, hit that, and it takes them right back to this section. Here's everything we just filled out. The kids need to click on Roll. They've got to finish all of these tabs here. So I'm going to click on Roles. Their role should be Test Candidate. There's really nothing else that they can choose. So if it's on Test Candidate, they're good. They can just move over to Profile. Click on Profile. Here's those same questions we just answered. So they can verify those. If they need to make changes, they can click Edit and make changes if they want to. Then we go to Programs. Students will then need to register for the Microsoft exams. They click on the Programs tab, and they go to Register right across from Microsoft, and they click Register. They don't have to fill out all this information here. If they just click this little gray button here, it takes all their information from Certiport and fills it in. They also have to choose this little line here, the non-disclosure agreement. So I'm going to click on this, and it brings this up, and it talks about all the testing policies, what they're supposed to abide by. They click on Yes, I accept. They do not have to check these boxes here. This is about getting emails and stuff like that. So you want this to say non-disclosure agreement accepted. Then they can hit Submit. Then it's going to say Microsoft, you are registered. They only have to do that one time. Once they're registered, they're done. This whole process they only have to do one time. So next year if they come back to take a test and they can remember their Certiport account, they're good to go. They won't have to fill any of this stuff out again. So that's your process there. They need to make sure they have completed their entire profile. Their role says they're a test candidate. They've completed these profile questions about being a student and working, and then they click on Programs, and they are registered for Microsoft, and then they are good to go and ready to test.